Here we are with the pre-district meet. This is on the Blountstown course. This is the same course they ran last week. The boys are off. Here we go. I don't know if it'll go out quite as fast as last week. We'll see. Then we got a kid here from Alta really taking it off here. And you see a lot of kids from Central High School. Now, Central is a team that we haven't really faced this season. You don't see them a lot in this area. You see them waving there at the camera. I think the kids really enjoy being on the footage there. These two kids are out pretty good. They've already got a gap about 20 meters. And it was funny, while I was on the course, they were actually sitting here talking, and they were talking about times and such. And I think the kid from Alta, realized, he's like, hey, I'm a little out of my league here. I'm going to just kind of back off here. I think the kid from Alta mentioned he had ran a 26, and this kid right here ran a 16. So that's a 10-minute difference, and so I think that kind of helped him back off a little bit. But the kid here in the front, Caleb Laughlin from Central High School, he had actually ran last Monday and ran 16:51. I expect him to kind of win this race. He's the pre-race favorite going into this race by a large margin. And speaking of a large margin, look at the gap he's already put on the field in 1 minute. This is absolutely just blowing this field up. He's got a downhill here. You see, look, 2 minutes in, and he's already 20 seconds ahead of the group. That is really pushing it to begin with right here. You see him looking at his watch again, as we talked about in the girls' race. That's a common thing you see a lot of high school runners do, is they're just so amped up. They're worrying about their time. And if that's a habit you can break, you can really shed some seconds off here and there. But you see he's still looking really strong, still putting some distance in on this group right here. And it'll be interesting to see how this race plays out. Again, I don't expect anyone in this race to run him down, but the real race is going to be between, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and so on from the team perspective, because Blountstown, Central, Weewall's got a good runner in there, so it's going to be cool to see how this plays out here. He has got a substantial lead. I mean, he looks like he's already got it kind of in cruise control in a way. He's still pumping pretty good. Again, as we talked about last week, this is where you really start to feel it. About 3 minutes into the race, that adrenaline kind of goes off, and then here comes that slow pain. But you see he's got good leg lift, great arm movement. He looks really strong right here. And maybe we can get a gap here and see how much. I mean, look, you can barely see the other runners in the background, and we're only 3 minutes into the race. Again, here we are right here. So 29 seconds, and we're only a little bit over a half mile. So he has completely demolished the field, and that was to second place. The chase pack was 50-something seconds back, so he is really smashing this course right now. And you see our first mile right here, 5:15-ish. That's cruising. If he was to keep that up, that'd be a low 16. Here we are. Here's second place. Another kid from Central High School. Here's a kid right here. I don't know what school he's from. I don't know what school this guy right here is from either. He only like he has a jersey. There's a runner from Lincoln. Lincoln has some good runners. Here's two runners right here from Baker High. Here's two more runners right here from Lincoln. I expect the kids right here from Lincoln to move up. There's Blountstown. There's the pack. There's two runners from Weewaw. Wow, look at all the Blountstown runners. This is kind of what we expected. Right here, look, three more Blountstown runners. There's some more Lincoln runners. Lincoln is a team that's from Tallahassee. They're going to be a team to watch here in the team standings, but I think Blountstown, just based off mile one and their history, I think Blountstown has it in the bag team-wise, and that's a bold statement saying that at just a mile into the race. But Blountstown kind of was going to take it a little easy. They got their district meet in a week, so obviously you don't want to push it out too hard. So again, you never know how these races will go out. Here's two more Blountstown runners right here. They're looking good. We're still up under 7 minutes for the first mile, which is a good place to be, especially for some of those younger guys on the race. But nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see whenever we get back onto the leader, how much of a, here he is right here. Look at the gap. I mean, you can't even see the other runners in this race. He is absolutely, look, 57 seconds of a gap. I mean, he is just destroying this field. The chase pack is over a minute back. That is a gap. Even if I got off my bike and started running, I don't think they would catch me. And that's saying something because they're a lot faster than I am. But wow, he is really, he looks like he has slowed down just a little bit. We'll see what the 2 mile split is to see how much of the time he has fallen off, but his legs aren't as poppy. They're not as quick as they were moving earlier. His leg lift isn't as high. His arms are slowing a little bit, and he's swaying a little bit more. But here's your mile 2 rankings right here. He goes through in a little bit over 11 minutes, so he has slowed down. He went from about 5:15 the first mile to about 5:45, but look, there's no one in this picture. He has no one pushing him. He was even commenting on the course. He's like, hey, you're kind of pacing me because there ain't no one here pushing me. But you see, he's onto the home stretch. Here's second place. Look, Blountstown has come up. Austin right here, I believe, he has come up and made up some ground on the other runners that were ahead of him. And he looks like he's got a good cushion for second. There's the other runner from Baker, and there's James. James from Blountstown right there. So it's 2-2 right now. There's a Weewa kid, Aiden Evans, and then there's 2 other Blountstown runners. So again, I think Blountstown's got a good lead right now in the team perspective, but no one has a bigger lead than this kid right here. He is absolutely just blowing the field away, and he's probably a little bit over 2 minutes away from the finish. And he's got a little downhill right here. Here's the uphill. Look at it. Look at his legs. He's certainly hurting at this point, but I don't think there's anyone to push him, past that comfort. Look, he's waving at the camera, doing whatever kind of signs he's doing, so he looks comfortable. I think he knows he's got it. Look, he's doing even more. Typical high school kids, just kind of trying to eat up the camera time. But nonetheless, he's got an awesome lead. I don't think he's pushing too hard. Remember, he had a race on Monday, and this is only, 48 hours later he's running again, so he's going to have to do some serious work in terms of recovery to get ready for their district meet, which I believe is next week as well. Current gap, he's 51 seconds. That has actually gone down a little bit. Looks like second place Austin is coming up a little bit on him. But again, that is way too much time. He's probably 30 seconds from the finish, if that. So no one's going to catch this kid. He's going in. Look, he's picking it up. He's got the crowd amping him up. I expect him to really take it off here. Look, he just hit a whole nother gear. He's feeding off the crowd. He ran a phenomenal race. He executed perfectly. From the first 30 yards, he had the lead, and he never looked back. So I expect him to kind of get the lead. Now it'll be interesting. Here's Austin right here with a phenomenal time of a below 18. Here's the kid from Central. And here's the kid from Blountstown. So right now, Central has the lead for team-wise. Kid from Central really pumping good right there. James ran a phenomenal race. I don't know if that's a PR for him this season, but he has dropped some serious time. Here's your overall lead right here. Looks like 5th place was actually from Weewa. Aiden Evans, he is running really well this season. He's finishing strong. Look at him. Here's a kid from Baker. He is running really well this year. And then also, here we go. I think I see a Blountstown runner right here. There's another kid from Baker. So it looks like Blountstown is about to take the lead. No, that is actually Weewa. So Weewa, Blountstown, Baker, and Central High School are all tied. But don't hold your breath, folks, because look, there's 2 runners from Blountstown. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. Blountstown has absolutely just dominated this from a team perspective. Here's 2 other guys right here. This will be their 6th runner. So Blountstown has walked away with it from a team perspective. And here we go. Here comes Lincoln. Here comes some other teams that's coming trickling in. But nonetheless, you saw the kid from Central. Nothing really to write home here. He dominated the entire race. Nothing too crazy. And then Blountstown, again, team-wise, dominated. It'll be interesting to see next week during the district how they perform with some of the private schools thrown into the mix, because right now it's just public schools. So when these private schools come in, these schools that can recruit and do all these scholarships and stuff, I hope Blountstown and I pray Blountstown has a good showing, and let's represent for the public schools. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the race.